Everyone's working.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, it's funny looking at this computer. It looks like the Pentagon. It's like I got screens everywhere. I got faces. I got maps. It's cool. All right. Well, welcome to the big agency meeting of the 27th of January, 2016. As you know, the theme for this year is what?
Impact.
I can't hear you.
Impact.
Impact.
There you go. And we're all aware of it. And I was just thinking about it. Pretend there was a meteor heading for the Earth. We all know what a meteor is, right? Come on, that way over there. Come close. Okay. And it's a small meteor, but they didn't know exactly where it was going to hit. Would you be preparing yourself for the impact, or you would not?
Prepare.
Prepare.
Yes.
So I think what
Prepare.
that's right. So if you have not prepared yet for 2016, which many of you have, and I want to say, and I'll talk about that in a minute, I will say this after this meeting, if you are not prepared for the impact of 2016, not only will you be left behind, you're going to be behind in your money earning ability, because I can tell you the opportunity of AIL has not phased out. I don't know what many of you have heard of the slow start for this year, but I'll tell you what we are going through. We're going through change. And I think many of you in your own personal lives, in your life, have had your ups, your downs, like many times, or maybe never. But I'll tell you what, if somebody, a prize fighter who's been knocked down in a ring, if they still have the will, if they still have the energy, and they still have some type of direction, do they lay there or do they get up? They get up, and you know what? If they're good enough of a fighter and they've been trained properly and they got their wits about themselves, they come back and they fight and they win. And I hope that all of you, whether you're online today or whether you're actually here in the room, I hope you have that passion. I hope you have that desire. I hope you have that energy. And most of all, I hope you still have the belief in what you do. It makes a difference in many people's lives and your family's life. So, regardless of the ups and downs, today is a new day. Today is a new day to make a difference. Today, we are very lucky to have two special guests. One that I'm going to introduce to you in about 2 minutes is a personal friend of mine. I've seen him go from producer to leader to a champion. And when you hear him, talk to him, when you get to know him, and the precious time he's giving us today, you'll see why he is a success. And you'll see why his business has shot up dramatically. And that's why we want him to help us to make a difference in 2016. So we'll come back to Joe in just a minute. We also will be having a little Hugo Santos segment today. And he's going to give you an update from the training department. And I'm very proud of the fact that he's been working hard behind the scenes to give us more tools, more resources that from the comfort of your home or in between appointments, you can go online and get more help 24/7. So Hugo will tell you about that as well. Thirdly, you all know there's a deadline looming. And what is that deadline come 1st of February? Cashless. Okay, well, cashless is a reality. I know Joe may not know a lot about it, but I'll say this: your quality will be significantly greater. You'll make more money. You'll make more renewals. You'll get better and higher bonuses, and you won't be running back and forth ragged trying to think that someone's going to give you money when they said they are and they don't. And you certainly don't need to be wasting time in 2016. So I think you got a very, very exciting meeting ahead of you. And I'm very happy that you have joined us today. Again, I'm looking, there's at least 6 people that are joining us from different parts of New Zealand. Technology is something we all need to take advantage of. Anita Ferris, you may want to shut your mic off. That is still on, so if you don't mind, and just open it up. Maybe someone's having, I can't hear that one. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to introduce Joe Diecedue, or Joe D, or Joey D. Joe is really something that I gotta say is becoming a legend. I've known Joe for many, many years. Joe and I have had some very, I can't tell all the stories. Joe and I together because I don't know, no, I just won't. But I would say Joe is a guy that has a wonderful heart. Um, Joe is probably the very first person that that I know of some selected few that would give of himself just because it's what he is grown up to be. And today is an example of that because Joe, again, he wants to help us. If I asked Joe for something in a heartbeat, he'd be there not only for me, but if it meant something to help all of us. And as Joe knows, almost like a brother, I do the same for him. That's a kind of bond that people that have been with AIL for a long time have. We're family. Everyone in this room is family. If you want to get to know me more, if I haven't spent time with you, don't be afraid to speak up. We're family. And what's family do? They help each other, no matter what, through thick and thin. And some of you need more help than others. And our job today is to give you a pathway, a road, and more direction and training. And Joe is going to share with you, I'm telling you, something that you can actually use starting today, not tomorrow, not next week. If you start doing the things that Joe shares with you shortly and take notes, and we are going to share a PowerPoint with you after the meeting, you'll get copies and your managers will. I'm going to tell you, you will be way ahead, and Joe has done it. And, when Martin told me about this and I saw the information, and it's phenomenal. And I've seen Joe's business go from average to better to amazing. Joe is on the executive council, which you earn these rings. Joe has won many awards. He's been on stage as an SGA many times. He has some of the top managers in all of AIL, Canada, America, and New Zealand. And I can tell you that he is a family man, which again is very precious because he is always there for his loved ones. And that, again, is character. So, all that said, Joe, I'm going to leave it to you now. You're going to enrich us, enhance our business, and you can take as much time as you want. So, once again, let's hear it for Joe Diecedue.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you so much. I want to go ahead and apologize for my Louisiana accent. I hope you can understand me. Can you hear me well, Hugo?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Everybody can hear me? Okay. That was a very humbling introduction, Steve. This is my 10th year as a state general agent, and I want everyone to know that I'll never forget my first meeting as an SGA 10 years ago in Las Vegas. I didn't know anyone, and I didn't even really have money to buy a drink. And the first SGA to take care of me was your SGA, Steve Friedlander. Steve and Felice, that very first meeting took me under their wings, and I felt like I was basically a part of their family ever since. And I've always admired what you guys have accomplished in New Zealand, and I know that you're destined for even more greatness. You have greatness in you, and hopefully today what I can do is help take your greatness to a different level, a level of a more lead independent level, which we've been able to accomplish here in Louisiana. Louisiana, when I took over Louisiana 10 years ago, I know you guys are far away, but I'm sure maybe you've heard of Hurricane Katrina. Hurricane Katrina was a hurricane that devastated New Orleans and our territory, and really it made me homeless. Actually, I was a homeless person from Hurricane Katrina, and American Income and really took care of me and put me back on my feet. Well, I think that experience taught me to not be codependent on anything if I could help it. If I could help it, do not be codependent. And when I became an SGA in Louisiana, I looked at the public relations numbers and I realized that we only get 12,000 leads a year from public relations. And I don't know what you guys get. I just went to Wisconsin to help Chris Hernandez with his kickoff meeting 2 weeks ago, and they get 13,000 leads every 3 months. So they get 4 times more leads than we get a year. Well, right away, I didn't want leads to be an excuse to not grow. And I feel like being an entrepreneur, basically, in order for us to have real unlimited growth, we got to be as independent as possible, as independent. I don't want a PR rep I don't want my agency to hurt because my PR rep had a baby, or my PR rep unfortunately died in an accident, or anything can happen, and I don't want that to be an excuse for us to not grow. So we've been blessed because of our referral culture to have 9 consecutive record-breaking years in a row. We've taken Louisiana from 300,000 in 2007 to 3 million in 9 years. And the more referral independent we become, the faster we grow. So here's our statistics. Right now, 65% of our sales comes from referrals. So if you add in 26% of POS and D cards, we are 91% lead independent. Only 9% of Louisiana's production comes from home office leads. 91% lead independent. We're gonna probably end up doing $5 or $6 million or $7 million off of 12,000 leads within the next couple of years, and it's because of that independence. So over the years, we've developed a referral culture that I want to share with you today. I'm going to give you everything I have, and today doesn't have to be the end of our communication. I have to leave in about 45 minutes, but I still want to be available. Any future questions that you have, make sure you email me. Get with Steve, get my email address, and I don't mind if you ever email me questions about referrals, because that's That's my forte. That's what's helped me. That's what's changed my life, my family's life, and 100 Louisiana people's families' lives, and shoot, over 100,000 families in the field. So right now we are collecting 4 times the referrals than the company. So we collect in a week per agent what an average agent collects a month. And that's what I'm going to try to teach you today, is how to collect 4 times more referrals. Whatever you're collecting, we want to get at least 4 times more. If you're collecting 10 a week, we want to get that number to 40. If you're collecting 25 a week, we want to get that number to 100 a week. When we recognize our top referral collectors a week, which one way to get that culture going is to make that part of your recognition. We recognize top 5 referral collectors every week in our agency meeting, along with sales. We try to focus on activity, number of presentations, and referrals first and second, and sales third, because we feel like activity and referrals are drive sales. I mean, activity leads to ability. You can't do anything 15 to 20 times a week and not get good at it. If you know, I don't even know how to be a carpenter, but if I did 20 carpenter projects a week, I'd probably get a heck of a lot better at it. Well, that's the same attitude. We feel like we can't keep having consistent activity without getting smart at referrals. So, I just want everyone to know that we just had our award ceremony yesterday, and our agent of the year is almost 70 years old. He's almost 70 years old, and these numbers are verified here. Okay, this isn't like, you know, he told us numbers. We verified this number. This 70-year-old averages 15 presentations a week and 96 referrals a week for the year last year. We believe that the 15 presentations a week wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for the 96 referrals a week. So let's get into the, I don't know if you have the handout or if Hugo is able to share it, the generating referral ALP. So
Just here. That one?
have you guys been able to hear me well? Thumbs up?
All good.
Can you understand my accent?
Yeah.
Thumbs up? All right. All right. We're doing really good now. All right.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Can you see this?
So
I'm sorry. Can you see the screen?
I can, yes.
Perfect.
Okay. Thank you, Hugo. Okay. So I was amazed when I figured out the dollar value of referrals. Even when I was a new agent 15 years ago, I was naive enough to believe that I wasn't making money giving away no-cost benefits. And boy, was I wrong. I was completely wrong. And I was also naive to believe that if I was persistent at getting referrals, that it would screw up my sale. Again, I was wrong. So, those two wrong ideas had to be fixed. So I started looking at our numbers and I put a dollar value to referrals. And when people understand that they are making money at collecting referrals and that getting referrals increases their chances of making sales, they're going to be more focused on getting referrals. And wherever we drive our attention and energy, we're going to drive results. So we have to make it a culture that getting referrals is making money. It's being successful. It's what we have to do. I give an analogy of shooting pool. I'm sure billiards. I don't know if we call it pool in America, but that's the same thing as a swimming pool. That might throw you off. But I'm pretty sure you might call it billiards. I don't know if I'm losing you or not. Do y'all know what shooting pool or billiards is? Yeah? Okay. Well, if I'm shooting pool and I don't know how to leave English or spin the white cue ball, and I play against someone else who does, they're going to run the table on me. Well, learning how to master referrals is being able to leave English on your cue ball or leave spin to where you can run the table. So let's get to the dollar values. I got off track for a second. I'm sorry. All right. The dollar value of your referrals. For every 10 referrals that we collect, we're going to set appointments with at least 5. For every 5 appointments, we present to 2. That's how bad we are in America. Okay? We only present to 40% of our appointments. I think that that's sad. I hope that that's sad in New Zealand. But if you set 5 appointments, you'll probably present to maybe 3 or 4, I'm hoping. But in our sad case, we present to 2. Okay? Guys, we have the highest closing on referrals, number 1 in our whole agency. Of all of our leads, we're selling 55% closing on referrals, only 34% on company leads. I'm at the point right now where I have to sell the idea of my people running company leads. And the reason why I do it is because you run them to get referrals. That's why. Because guys, our ALP on referrals is actually just under 800 ALP. Well, with the compensation structure, we take home about half. So that's $400 of income for every 10 referrals. So yes, for every 10 referrals, we only sell 1. But we take home $400 for that 1. I believe we could get even better than that. But let's stick to this number, okay? 1 out of 10 referrals being a sale is $400. That means that every 100 referrals is worth $4,000 of income. Now, hey, you might have to work really hard to get to those 10 sales out of those 100 referrals in a week, but nevertheless, those 100 referrals have a dollar value of $4,000. I'm telling you, when my people realize that, all of a sudden, getting 100 referrals in a week is a big deal. People start talking. When people reach 100 referrals, we talk about it being worth $4,000. Okay, let's scroll down. All right, I jumped ahead of myself, but this is for leaders and managers, and if you're an agent who wants to be a manager, or I don't like the word manager, I prefer agency builder. And if you show me a person that's good at working referrals and another person that's not, I will put money that the person that's good at working referrals will be able to build a bigger agency. Period. Because a lead dependent person is going to have a lead dependent team. We want to make this opportunity as unlimited as possible. So let's look at the next bullet where it says managers should say. So this is me teaching my managers how to talk to their agents. The worst thing a manager or an agency builder should say to an agent first is, how many sales did you make? Or how much ALP? Look, I'm going to admit it's going to be hard to not do that at first. Even for me, it was very hard. But I would catch myself being a bad leader. If you say how many sales or how much ALP, what if they only did one presentation? If you're going to congratulate a person for just writing ALP, you're subconsciously training them to be lazy. But if you focus on activity and referrals, you're teaching them to have a better work ethic, which is going to drive their ability faster. So, for example, if you look in the bold print, if you say, how many referrals did you collect yesterday? And they say 15 in a day, which is really like my agency average. Like 15 in a day is kind of like, okay. Well, we put a dollar value on that. I don't even know if you made a sale or not, but I'm going to tell you that you made $600. Wow, 15 referrals, that's $600 worth of referrals. Then my next question is, how many presentations did you get in? 2? Well, 2's not good enough. I don't know if you made a sale or not, but if you did, you got lucky if you only gave 2 presentations. Then I'll find out if they made a sale. But if they made a sale, they're upset that they didn't get in enough presentations, and I'm training them to think right. Okay, so the last bullet on this page says, bullet point on this page says, now agents realize that they're making money while collecting referrals, and that it's very important because naive agents like Joe Diecedue will think that they are not making money during no cost benefits and referral collections when they actually are. But it's our jobs as leaders to make them realize this. Guys, managers and field trainers have to make this part of your daily culture, because what you talk about is what you're going to breed. Okay, let's go to the next page. Damn, time's roll. We're good now. Okay. All right. Our data reveals that we obtain 2 times more referrals from sales than non-sales. Therefore, our agents need to understand that being persistent at obtaining referrals will not hurt their chances of making their sales. It actually will increase their chances of making the sale because now the clients have more ownership in our programs. Guys, our agency expectations are 50 referrals a week, and we inspect it. Okay? 50 referrals a week. Look, because we figure if you look at B, if they're doing 12 presentations a week, that's only like 4.2 referrals per presentation. And that's our average. If someone's getting less than 4 referrals per presentation, there's something really wrong. I tell you, this took a lot of strength, but I ended up, and we do now, we will hold promotions based off of referrals. Like they might have the production and the attitude and everything else, but I'll put it back 30 days and say, okay, well, we're going to have to put back your promotion till March 1st because I can't have you building a team of people that struggle at referrals. So that really changed the culture. And so, the company did a study that agents collecting 50 referrals or more a week, we have over a 90% retention of those agents. And Roger Smith told me that number. And ever since then, it's been my agency standard. Because I don't want to waste my time hiring someone if I don't have a great chance of keeping them. So that 50 number sounds like an even number that might have fell out the sky, but it didn't. That is a number that gives me an advantage of keeping my agents. That's a magical number. And C, agents must be good at collecting referrals, setting referrals, and selling referrals in order to be considered for management. And it's non-negotiable. And I already told you that SA promotions should be based on referrals in addition to all the other requirements. Okay, let's scroll. Okay. Like knowledge is power leads a power. And I already told you wherever energy goes, attention goes, energy flows. So in our sales manual, everything pertaining to referrals is in green font because referrals are where the money's at for the agent, the agency, and for the company. And you can't beat a free lead with the highest closing percentage. That's called working smart. I don't like people when people say I work smart, not hard, because I like to work smart and hard. All right, let's go to the next page. Okay, guys, this is an actual snapshot of our presentation that we give our agents. Can you imagine being a brand new agent and you go home and we tell you that we're not going to train you until you learn this? And the first thing you see above the company name, this is before the company you work for. That's how much emphasis we put on it. It says mastery of referrals instruction in green font. Our new hires today are sitting home right now. There's no question of what's the priority for our agency. It's right in front of them, in bold, in green bold. Okay, let's go down to the warm-up or the form method. Okay, so form is what we use to train our agents on how to warm up, how to build rapport. It's an acronym. It stands for family, occupation, and recreation, and then me is tying myself into the warm up. So the family, the company, American Income, has been elementary at working referrals. And, don't tell Roger Smith that I said that. But it's the truth. Because I call the warm-up or building rapport a double-edged sword. A double-edged sword. In other words, just building rapport is only half. Mastering referrals is using building rapport to make the clients trust you and to also get names of their best referrals. You have to be good at both. This is critical. If you're good at building rapport, you should be good at collecting referrals and making sales. Both of them. Building rapport isn't just to make a sale. It's to get good referrals and make a sale. It's to set up future sales. You should be able to turn every appointment into a sale. And that's what we're going to get to. That's what I'm going to teach you here in just a few minutes. So the form method of rapport building, I'm reading the screen now, is a great way to begin the rapport building process. Because their family, their occupation, and their recreation topics are the places you will receive referrals. So make sure you don't move forward without at least 2 names of their family and friends, or your first 2 referrals. So the biggest question to get good is to add to your warm-up or your rapport building is one word. Who? That's it. Add who to all of your questions in your warm-up. And that's going to tell you who your best referrals are. So, like family. So how long have you lived in this neighborhood? Who in your family lives here? Let's say, for example, my grandma, my grandmother, and my sister live down the street. Occupation. How long have you worked at your job? What do you do there? Are you close friends with anyone at work? Who? I see you have a boat. How often do you get to go fishing? Who do you fish with? Who do you golf with? Who do you watch football with? Who do you go to church with? Who? And I'm doing 2 things at one time. Warming up, building rapport, and gathering referrals. But they don't know it yet. They don't know it yet. All right, let's move on to the next page. All right. Hey, real quick about the last page. Of the form, it's family, occupation, recreation, me. I didn't understand when I was an agent how important me was. And I realized that it's very important to make sure you talk about yourself because that builds trust. Untrustworthy people don't want you to know about them. Trustworthy people will tell you everything about themselves. I have a guy who tells me every time he shows pictures of his daughters, he makes a sale. You have nothing to hide. So I just wanted to touch on that real quick. To do your who at your family, who at your occupation, who at your recreation, but then talk about yourself, and then you're ready to move on. Now, it doesn't matter what your introduction is. Let's go to the second page at referral collection and referral keys to success. Is this the second page? Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay. So keys to success. Number one is confidence. This is a privilege for you, the client, not something for me. That's very important. I used to tell myself every day in the field that they need me more than I need them. They just don't know it yet. Before I would set appointments, they need me more than I need them. They just don't know it yet. Number 2 bullet point, look them in the eye. One more thing, say their names. The more you look them in the eye and the more you say their names, the more success you'll have. Okay. The third bullet point is it needs to be updated. You should always and only use the words, let's go ahead and start with. Who's first should be a backup, because if you got to say who's first, you didn't do the form right. You didn't warm up right. You should assume who it is. You should always say, let's go ahead and start with your grandmother down the street. Okay, next we'll go with your sister Celeste, your sister who lives down the street. Okay, guys, never use the words, can you think of anyone, or anyone else, or who else? You will lose right there. And the last one is very important. Never collect referrals without asking, who do you know that's engaged to get married, just got married, or had a baby, or is pregnant to have a baby? It took me a year to figure out that every presentation that I did to a couple that was about to get married, recently got married, or had a baby recently, I sold. And it took me an epiphany to say, why in the heck wouldn't I ask for that on every presentation? Specifically ask for what I have the highest closing percentage against. All right, let's keep moving. To the AD&D, your no-cost accidental death and dismemberment. Okay, perfect right there. Okay. Now, guys, we give this one first. Okay, so this is the first one we give. Now, pay attention. This is important. Now, you have the opportunity to extend this same $1,000 accidental death and dismemberment benefit out to your family and close friends. Keep in mind that this is at no cost to you or them. Let's go ahead and start with your sister down the street. What's her name again? I'll say what's her name again like they already told me her name when they never told me her name. If that makes sense. Guys, I didn't say, would you like to do it? Look in parentheses. Name and relationship from form. And it says it really helps if you grab your cell phone or your address book. That's not in the script, but if you can get their cell phone or their address book, it's like hitting the referral lottery. All right. Now, if they say, how many do I have to give you? Your response, you only get 10. And if you don't use them, nobody else will get them, so don't let them go to waste. Who's next? All right, so real quick, let me elaborate a little bit more. You see that second sentence? Keep in mind that this is at no cost to you or them. Wait, go back. Yeah, go back. Perfect. Stay there. All right. That second sentence. Keep in mind that this is at no cost to you or them. If you forget that one sentence, your referrals will drop. It happened to me. My referrals figure out why, and it's because of that second sentence. So after that happened to me, I took that paragraph to another level. I would say, now, John and Mary, you had the opportunity to extend these same benefits to your family and friends at no cost. Then I would stop and look them in the eyes, and I would say their names. And John and Mary, keep in mind that this is at no cost to you, and it's at no cost to them. I would stop, look them in the eyes, say their name, and emphasize that. Then I would say, so let's go ahead and start with your fishing buddy, Jim. What's Jim's last name again? They never told me Jim's last name in the first place. I always say, so what's Jim's number again? Everything's again. Okay. Guys, a lot of my people always, they add the response to the rebuttal to the first paragraph. Now, John and Mary, you had the opportunity to extend these same no-cost benefits to your family and friends. John and Mary, keep in mind, this is at no cost to you or them. John and Mary, you only get 10. And if you don't use them, nobody else gets them, so don't let them go to waste. All right, let's go ahead and start with your fishing buddy, Jim, your grandmother down the street, your sister down the street. Okay, you only have 7 more. Who's next? Who do you know that just got married? Who do you know? You're doing good. All right, only 4 more. Who do you know that just had a baby? I'm on Facebook. Everybody's having a baby. Who do you know that's having a baby? I know you know someone that just had a baby. All right, let's keep moving. Let's scroll. I hope that's helping you. Okay, child safe. Wow. Guys, this presentation right here, if you're having trouble getting referrals at the AD&D, I've taught my agents to use child safe first because it's easy to get referrals. If you do it like this, okay? We've been asked to get these, look at the green font, okay, guys? We've been asked to get these kits out to every family with kids. For us to accomplish this goal, we're going to need your help. Who do you know with kids? It helps if you get your cell phone address book. Who's next? If they say everyone I just gave you, you say who besides them? Guys, I'm sure people in New Zealand are just like people in Louisiana. Y'all are good people. I've been to Paris with several of you before, with Stephen Felice and a bunch of New Zealanders. Guys, y'all are good people. Whenever you ask a person, hey, we're going to need your help, you're going to get help in most cases. All you got to do is say that presentation the way it is, and you're going to get a lot of referrals. If you're not getting referrals, you're not doing it. Let me do it again. John and Mary, we've been asked to get these kits to every family with kids. For us to accomplish this goal, John and Mary, you see how I'm saying their name again? John and Mary, we're going to need your help. Who do you know with kids? And then you just put your hand down, your head down, and start writing. Who's next? Only 5 more to go. You're doing good. Who do you know that just got married? And you keep coaching them. All right, let's keep scrolling. All right. Oh, wait, go up some. Go up some to prepping. Wait. All right, well, they don't have the prep. Let me see. All right, that's good. Keep going. All right. Okay. So after I'm done getting referrals, I tell them that I promise to do my best to get the no-cost accidental death policy and the child safe kits to those family and friends. But John and Mary, I need you to promise me that you're going to call or text them, and tell them how great I am or how handsome I am or how beautiful. Make a joke out of it, because I don't want to be a stranger when I call. And I spend a lot of time making them promise me. Now, guys, I'm going to tell you that I will also ask them if they know if anybody's home right now, and we'll make the call right now before I present the optional products. And I'll set the appointment from their house. Okay? So making them promise me to call the referral is important, because when I go set the appointment with the referral, I use that. So let's scroll down a little bit more. Now that the agent's promised a member, the agent can use this on the phone call. You explain who you are and the no-cost benefits that they've been sponsored to receive, and then you add to your phone script. And so I promised Celeste, I promised your brother John and his wife Mary that I would get these no-cost benefits to you and your family. Guys, I also collect a lot of good information from John and Mary about Celeste. I know that Celeste is married to David. I know that David is a limousine driver. And I know that Celeste is pregnant with their second child. And right after I promised your brother John and his wife Mary that I'd get these no-cost benefits to you, I start saying, and John and Mary told me that your husband David is a limousine driver. I saw a picture at their house of your 3-year-old beautiful daughter, and they told me that you're pregnant with your second child. Congratulations. They know I'm legitimate. I tell them so much about themselves that they have to set the appointment with me. All right, let's keep going. Next bullet. We already covered that the managers, okay, that's important right there. Look at the quality of referral collection is critical. A name and a phone number is not good enough. Let's keep moving. The referral collection needs to include spouse's name, nickname. Guys, my real name is Joseph. If you call and ask for Joseph, you will not talk to me. you better call and ask for Joe or Joey or Joey D. Just like Steve told you. If you don't ask for those three, you're not talking to me. If you ask for my real name, I know you're not part of my family or friends. Spouse's name. If my wife Heidi answers, I want to be able to set the appointment with her. How many kids? What time do they get home from work? Time management is critical. People who have bad call days or struggle at setting appointments are struggling because they're calling the wrong people at the wrong times. If you want to be successful at setting appointments, you got to call the right people at the right times. All right, guys, and to end, mastering referrals will change our opportunity to truly opportunity unlimited. All right, guys, that's all I got. I hope you can understand me. I hope that I helped make an impact. This isn't the end of our relationship. I've been part of the Friedlander family for almost 10 years now. I love and miss you, Aaron. I love you, Steve. And I love all of you. And I hope to see a lot of you in Puerto Rico. And if not in Puerto Rico, I better see you in Cancun. Thank you very much.
Well, Joe, I got to say, that was probably one of the best few segments that we ever had from anywhere. So, Joe, you gave it your best as you normally do. It's all from the heart. I certainly hope that they will all do what you asked them to do because you've done it. Congratulations for your success. Congratulations for everything you've done in your life for us too. So, with that, Joe, I know you got to go. So, once again, thank you so much, Joe. Have a great week. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Joe. Bye bye. Okay, we're going to let Hugo talk a little bit, just in general, as we said you would do, about some of the things that are happening as we speak, and that they can start going to some of the resources. So let's hear it for Hugo Santos, our trainer.
Hi guys, hope you guys are doing really well. Basically, we have been putting all the resources and we have been trying to make your life a little bit more easier. I know that most of you guys are being trained with to get union leads and all these referrals where we're trying to shift. We have been trying to basically put all these presentations and videos for you just to make your life a little bit easier. So basically you can read, you can watch, you can listen. So there is Dropbox folders that we have created. It's called basically, we have been sending the link to your managers.
Everybody's still on Fuse?
Everybody's still on Fuse.
Good, okay.
So let me share
Just
here
seeing
the
that
screen.
part. Okay.
So basically, we just can send you a link directly to your email address. And basically, when you get into your link email address, you will be able to access this folder. So basically, this folder has all the training manuals. So you have your presentation book, your agent handbook, your debit success, basically training manual to do for you the cashless sales. You have your field underwriting manual and basically your presentation book. Also, we have created like a Word document with all the links. So there you're gonna find the links that you will be able to have access to all the training material. So you have the child safe kit presentation, you have all the union leads, the union presentation, the concept, the objections. Also, you have other videos, yeah. And also in the bottom part, you're gonna have this cool part. We have laptop on demand. So this is proper training directly from home office. So if you follow the instructions, you will get into this website. And if you access this website, you have the login and the password just there. This is the login and the password. Just give me 1 second. The username is sales. and the password is impact16. So you access there, you will be able to have all the training that basically Joe was referring to us. You have lots of leads training, union presentation, child safety training directly from trainers from home office. So you will be able to see how they interact. So you will be able to hear more people doing it.
Can you put the password a little bit clear to us?
Yeah. Basically, everything is in the Dropbox folder, so every one of you should be able to access this folder and access all this
Alfred,
information.
what we'll do, in fact, all the managers have it already. They've been sent to you. If not, you can ask Steve or someone. But they all have this, so make sure they help you get on. No problem. That way, let them show you how. Once you're on, keep studying, you'll get better. A lot of good stuff.
And here also on the bottom, you have basically the videos that Aaron has made about their success for cashless. So you have access to the links that Aaron has done. So if you access those links, Aaron is going through the process of cashless, step by step, basically showing the windows. So I know we're gonna have Lana today as well showing that, but Aaron has made these two videos. So guys, you can go online on YouTube and watch these videos as many times as you want to be able to retrain and retrain yourself. That makes sense? So we're just trying to give you a little bit more tools to make your life a little bit more easier. Okay? Yeah, that's
Good.
pretty much.
Let me ask a question on
Yeah.
that one. In regard with the, if you go to apply and you want to pay now and it's not on internet banking, can we do that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, our next segment, you can ask the same question from Debit Success. They're here today. But within the next couple minutes, we'll bring them up and you can ask. So once again, the question was, if you don't have internet banking,
Yeah.
okay, well, then we'll have to talk about that. But remember to ask that same question and they'll tell you. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. Well, listen, I think what I've tried to show in this small segment, thank you, Hugo, is can you get it back where we?
Excuse me, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Are you guys able to speak more into the mic? Because we can't hear you. It's like you're talking to the room.
How about now?
It's a bit better.
All right. Well, then we'll just talk louder to the computer.
Yeah, okay. Sorry, I missed that, mate.
Okay. We'll try to talk louder so you can hear.
Sounds good. Cheers.
Okay. All right. So at this point, we just wanted to reiterate that Hugo has put together, with various participation of other managers and so on, a lot of tools that you can use anytime, anywhere. And if you really, really want to get to the pinnacle of success with AIL and the agency, then my suggestion is that you study and practice and get good at it, because this is the best of the best and you got everything you need. Because there's no way anymore you should say, I didn't get enough support. I didn't get enough training. Now, this won't take place of your field training, which is really, really essential, but it will certainly fill in the gaps to give you more of an opportunity to know what to say and when to say and all the things that go with it. So this is something you never had before, as we are now making available. We want you to be successful. And you know, when you went to school, if you just didn't study or read or do your homework, what would happen? You'd fail and you get dropped out. Well, why should you even put yourself in the position of failing and dropping out? This is your livelihood. I would hope that you're here for a reason. I hope you're here forever. If you heard Joe, he made some very, very big statements. And one of them was, night, the person, I wrote it down. I don't know if you did, but I certainly did. The person that gets 100 referrals a week, and it's not impossible, their chance of success with AIL was 90%. They're still here. Now, if you're not working leads that we give you, this is even more important. But I will say this, and this will recap the referrals. If I go out today on 5 appointments I present 3. I should have 6 appointments, 6 to 10. And I could do it if you're managers or you come to some more training. I'll probably get today, if I saw 3 to 4 appointments and presented, if I kind of practice and all, I can't see why I wouldn't get at least 25. Really, and I mean that. Referrals. But think about this. I may have leads and I'm supposed to work that are how old? Who knows? It could be anywhere from 3 months to 4 years. How old are the 25 referrals that I got today?
1 day old.
Less than 1 day. Even if I see them next week, how old are the leads? The referrals?
1 week.
1 week. So if you're smart, and we say it when we recruit people, it's in the PowerPoint we use, the referral is the strongest lead, the freshest lead. You got the lead, and you heard all the stuff Joe said. I'm not going to go over it again. And probably the easiest sale, because the person that you got it from knows who we are and knows, would have told the people why we're coming. And what I will share with you, I don't have the time right now, is a text that you can use. He said call them, but you know what? I think you all know how to text, don't you? Is there anyone in this room that doesn't know how to text? One person, at least they're honest. So guess what? You can call. Not, no, but that's great, and you can. But anyone that can text, guess who does the text to the referrals? Who?
Me.
Not, no. If you do it right, the way it would show you, in fact, for that matter, it could be a group text, if you really have a rapport, by the sponsor, and say, in the next day or so, you're going to hear from Peter from AIL, and he's going to tell you about some family-oriented benefits that are no cost. Be aware, he will be calling you. Please give him some time. How's that? So if I called Sarah, or I called Mary, or I called John, and they had received, everyone reads a text, do they not?
Yeah.
Does that mean that they had to answer the phone first? No. Does that mean they can read that text anywhere they want? When they read the text, do they know who Peter was with AIL now? Do they know why he's calling? Is there a charge for what he's giving us? No, it's free. That to me could be the way to do it, because if they gave me 7 referrals, I said, would you just send all of them? You just input their number, and I'll read them the text to send them. Now, all you got to do is follow it up. Hi, I'm Steve with AIL. Did you get the text from Tom? You did? Great. He told me all about you. All I want to do is keep my promise and deliver those benefits. When would be the best time to see you? I have 2 appointments. I have one at 4 o'clock this afternoon because he told me you work at the boatyard. And he said you're both home, or I could see you Saturday morning at 8 a.m. because they said you're always home at that time. Which one works best for you? That's how I do it. You like that? Okay, so we'll give you that later. All right, so let's move on. You go, thank you. And I appreciate that. Now, how many of you know who Debit Success is? Well, if you don't, where have you been? Debit Success has made an impact. I remember the very first time I met Debit Success, well before these ladies that are our guests today. They probably heard the name Morrison, one of the founders of Debit. Yeah, well, he's the guy that I saw. They were small and they were new. And from that day forward, we knew that Debit Success was a very important part of our business. But I think what's happened is that we take it for granted. And I say that because when we first had Debit Success with 333 cases, and many of you don't know this, this is why you got to be trained more in your sales. Guess what the 4-month retention was after the 4 months was up with those 333 cases? Would anyone like to take a guess at what the 4-month retention was on that original group of business? Not quite 100, but it was 91. Now, can you imagine from this day forward, and I say because you can't go backwards, but you could reinstate, would your life be better, more financially enriching, and more clients that'll be happy with you if you had 90% retention, some of you in this room actually do, what difference would that make to your income? Would you like an extra 30 some odd percent on your bonus? Would you like to be guaranteed that every year you'd be going to convention? Would you like to know that you'll be probably picked out of the lot to say, I have high retention, I know how to recruit, and I know how to get referrals? Do you want to raise in your contract? Well, I think Joe gave me an idea today. Recruiting is essential. Quality is absolutely number one too. That's a company standard. But you know what? If you're not getting referrals, why would I have you teach someone else not to get referrals? Make sense? So really, it's all coming together for 2016. I'll repeat. Quality, debit success is a key. But you got to listen to what they're saying, because it's all happening very quickly, and many people are already fully engaged. Number two, you want to make sure the activity is up. Number three, you should be recruiting because you can make money even if you're not a manager. The bonus and the 5% income stream for how long? 6 months. Even a baby takes longer to come out. That's 9 months, right? Okay. And he talks about a lot of pregnancies, so it's in my mind. That's all good. Who's having a baby? Who? I thought it was an owl. That's okay, but he gets it. All right. So with that, I'd like to bring up our wonderful ladies from Debit Success. I'll let them introduce themselves to the people online, and I think it's essential. And I say this very, very clearly, folks. This will probably be the most important segment you've ever heard in person in this room. I've counted it up. There's over 30 some odd people as we speak in the room, not including the managers. I know we have at least 25 to 30 online today, listening right now. But let me tell you, the company, and again, and I'm going to say it clearly, he said something, Joe, my friend, I'll say the ultimate leader that I have to look up to in this company is who? I'm saying who? The guy that's up on the wall there, Roger Smith. You all know who Roger Smith is? Well, Roger Smith has said to me, to Martin, to Richard, to Dominic, names you know of or may not have heard of, he is the boss. He is the CEO and the head of AIL and Liberty National too, by the way. So he's in charge of two companies. He wants cashless. When? Yesterday. The deadline, it's quite important, is the 1st of February. Now, there may be a possibility, and I think Lena may clarify that somewhat without going into, I don't want to put her on the spot, but I'm still clarifying that there is one or two things that you still can do cash, but there'll be restrictions. And again, I don't want to go over that today. I think what I need you to do, and we'll answer your question, Alfred, is that as far as I'm concerned, my role as the branch agency head of messages from home office to all our people in New Zealand is to pass on the messages from the company. They want you. This is not a punishment. This is not something you can't live with. We were probably the only company in New Zealand that accepted cash. Would that be not too? I mean, we were living in a cave, okay? Many of you, we're not going backwards. You did great. Some of you got hurt. Some of you are still suffering from cash business. Those days are over. If you make a sale, it's real. If you make a sale, you want to get paid. But I think most importantly, AIL needs to get paid so they can cover the insured. Because, 2 weeks after you saw them, they have a massive heart attack. Guess what? Don't you want them to get the check? Because you'll get more referrals. You may even recruit some of the referrals. That's another thing that Joe did not talk about. How about all the referrals you can recruit? That's another segment.